What's going on, everyone? This is Jay from Premier Gaming Entertainment. Yes, I know it's been a long time since I've last did a video. Um, Man, it's been since the Alabama game since I last did a video on Michigan football. Obviously, a lot has gone on since then, and to everyone that's still here, appreciate you still sticking around. Hope everyone is safe and continue to stay safe. Uh, what I want to discuss today is my thoughts as far as the Michigan football quarterback situation. And first of all, I'm completely shocked and floored that Joe Milton um, won out the QB. I'm not gonna say challenge, but the competition for being the starting quarterback for the season. Completely surprised about that. Now, I know I've seen other videos where people have said, he's this, he's that, and some people even predicting it last year. But in all honesty, I thought that the position was up for Dylan McCaffrey to get automatically, and it was his to lose. And to see that he lost out is just completely surprising to me. I figured that with his skill set, his running ability, that he'd be the perfect fill-in for the situation and be the front runner. So for him losing out, it's real surprising to me and lets me know maybe he wasn't as good as we all thought he was. I know injuries have been a problem, but I thought he'd be perfectly suited for, the offense that Josh Gaddis had, and to see him not be able to win out the position is amazing to me. I've always been under the opinion that I understand that Harbaugh, in actuality, was doing everything that he felt was in the best interest of the team to try and win, but that whole Shea Patterson experiment, it really set the quarterbacks that we had under scholarship already, it set them back. And I think that part of that is part of the reason why, people were talking about there being sort of issues in the locker room and things of that nature, because I'm pretty sure that the guys were split on who they liked and who they wanted to be quarterback, and people kind of gravitating to one guy. And I'm sure, I don't know this for sure, this is just my own thoughts and speculation, but I'm pretty sure there were guys in the locker room on offense that, it's not that they had a problem with Shea, but they kind of felt like Harbaugh kind of put him above the other guys, and really they should have been the guys getting the opportunity. And, you're looking at a guy like Dylan McCaffrey that, he just basically had to just sit there and be put to the side and never was given a fair shot at, being the starter. I know he had to, they had the quote unquote quarterback competition, but let's face it. After all the stuff that they did to get him in, I feel as though Harbaugh still kind of favored him regardless of how well or how bad he was playing. And, they were going to stick with him no matter what. And I think even like last year, I felt as though either one of those other two guys deserved a shot to start. But, with the way things are going, if it was close, they would have to be exceptionally better than Shea in order to start over him, given, he's a 5-star and they brought him in and did all this stuff. So they would have had to been way above him in order to even have a chance. So I feel as though that really set them back, held them back from really progressing. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens this year as far as the whole quarterback situation goes. Obviously, whoever lost out was going to transfer, and voila, Dylan is gone, transferred out. I mean, I expected that to happen. I mean, I don't blame him. I guess he felt as though, what's the point of me sticking around if I'm not going to be able to start? So, uh, I'm just kind of concerned about the whole thing. Um, I know everyone's talking about Joe Milton is the next Cam Newton or the next Brian Leftwich or Josh Allen or whatever comparison you want to give. But it's going to be interesting to see how he fits into this offense. Um, I know, I mean, I haven't really seen him really run other than, a couple of plays here and there. So I don't know what his actual running ability is, um, which I think is going to be key with this offense. Last year, we really took a step back in the offense, and a lot of that was due to Shea. I'm going to say, um, the whole RPO or all that was all Shea. There's many opportunities where he could have ran the football, but I think that once he got hit and got injured at the beginning of the season, I think he just got scared, didn't want to get injured no more, didn't want to run the football, and it really hurt our offense because for the most part, I'm sure teams were not expecting him to run or didn't even play him to run. And that just defeats the purpose of an RPO if you never do the R. So hopefully this year we're going to see more of actual real RPO, and we're going to see more of design runs or whatever just to keep the defense honest. I really think, because if you watch my videos from the past couple of years, one of my biggest complaints was always, why don't these guys take shots down the field? Why is everything, within about 10 to 20 yards of the line of scrimmage? Why aren't they going deep? I used to be just harping on that week after week after week. And I couldn't understand why they wouldn't do it. But I'm honestly thinking that the reason why they didn't do it is not because they wouldn't do it, but more so because they couldn't do it. Shea, let's face it, he had a wet noodle for an arm, not much arm strength. There's lots of times where, for example, Nico would be wide open down the field, and Shea would underthrow him, or he'd have to wait for the football. There's a lot of times where if it was an actual decent throw, he just jog into the end zone. But no, he had to wait for the ball to get there, and then it became a 50-50 ball. Or there was lots of times where guys were open, but the throw was not accurate, or they had to wait for it, or they'd have to dive for it, and instead of just being able to walk into the end zone, they'd have to take whatever they got for the yardage because they had to dive for the ball, or they got tackled because they had to wait for the fluttering ball in the wind, or whatever it is. Shea's lack of arm strength really hurt our offense. I'm pretty sure that anywhere from about 25% of the playbook or more was probably sliced out just for the mere fact that they knew that Shea couldn't make the throws. So one of the key strengths of Joe is that he's got a rocket for an arm. So hopefully we'll see something new. We'll see a lot of different things that we didn't see in the last 2 years come to pass because Joe has a better arm and he's going to be able to make throws that Shea could only dream of making. Now that can also lead to other things like being a little bit more adventurous with the football and taking more chances down the field, and that could lead to turnovers from interceptions and stuff like that. But these are definitely just going to be the growing pains of a guy trying to find his way and not having a lot of experience. So, I mean, just expect that to happen. And that's unfortunate, but what can you do at this point? You got Joe, you got Cade as your backup, and then what is it after that? So um, we're just gonna have to wait and see how things go, man. You know, like I said, I'm kind of nervous about the whole situation, the quarterback situation, the lack of experience. Um, you know, everyone's calling Joe the second coming of this, second coming of that. But, you know, if he, and I know, like I said I, before about the whole Shea situation, but if Joe was that great, he would have been starting already, you know? So we just have to hope and pray that he's going to be a difference maker. You know, one of the things that I felt that is really been the huge issue. Obviously, I mean, I know people watching Michigan football know this, but let's face it. All these years of Harbaugh, he has not had what you would call a playmaking quarterback. He's always had, and this includes Shea too, just a glorified, um, what would you call it? Like he's not a playmaker. He's just like, he just gets the job done. He takes care of the football. He doesn't turn over as much as, he doesn't take any chances. I mean, Shea was one of those guys that wouldn't throw to a spot. He would wait until the guy got open and then make the throw, which is a safe play, but it's not the playmaking play. So there's many of times where a guy might have been open, but he didn't make the throw because at the time the guy wasn't open. But if he had did it based off of timing, the guy would have been open by the time he made the throw. So Harbaugh is just, all the quarterbacks have just been like that. The guy that I would say would be the biggest playmaker that they had was actually Wilton Spate. Um, and for the most part, you could see like 2016, their offense was really, really good until he got injured. It's probably the best offense production that I saw from them as far as playmaking, the ball being distributed all around the field, not just in certain areas. Um, we just had ball managers. We've never had a playmaker. And that makes a huge difference. I mean, when you have a guy that you can just put the football in their hands and say, win us a game, that's huge. I mean, that is huge for, your ability to score, but also huge for the morale of the team to know that and feel that at any point in time we can come back, we can win this. And it doesn't have to be everything leaning on the defense. So we're just going to have to see what happens with Joe. I hope that he is, the playmaker that everyone is making it seem. And hopefully he doesn't make too many mistakes. And like I said, if you got an arm and you can hit any spot on the field and make plays like that, you keep the defense, you keep it honest. And that was another big part of the problem with Michigan's offense. If you compare it to like what I was saying in 2016, under these 2 years with Shea, it's almost like an NBA team with absolutely no shooting. Spacing. Spacing is very important, especially when you call your offense speed and space. You can't have speed and space if there's no space. So the biggest problem with the speed and space is if you can't go deep, then everyone's going to be packed in at the line of scrimmage, and if you can't make throws deep down the field, and you got like the safeties that can just come in and stay close to the line of scrimmage, how are you going to get speed and space if there's no space? I mean, that was the problem. And that killed our running game. That's why our running game last year sucked. How are you going to run the football if everyone's crowding the line of scrimmage? How are you going to have speed and space if there's no space? So, if Joe is able to stretch the field, be able to go deep, and us actually have deep threats, that's going to open up the field. So, anyways, that's it for my video. Like I said, I'm hoping and praying Joe is going to be the guy. Hoping that the offense is going to change. I'm hoping the offense is going to open up and allow for us to be able to take shots down the field, because that's just going to open up the running game. And I feel as though out of everything in our offense, the running game, the running back position as a whole is going to be one of our strengths. I mean, you got Zach, you got Hassan, you got Chris Evans coming back, now you got Blake Corum coming in. So you got a quartet of really good running backs. But like I said, if they don't have the space, if the defense is not being kept honest, then it's not going to matter. So, anyways, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. Definitely leave a like on the video if you like my content. If you're new to the channel and you like what you saw, you want to continue, definitely hit the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting now on a regular basis again, now that I'm back. So don't worry about that. I'm going to be making a video in a while, maybe in the next couple of days, about my preview of the season, where I'm going to get more in depth as far as other positions other than just the quarterback position. Anyways, thank you for watching the video, and as always, go Blue.